Hello, lovely. Welcome to Tea with Taylor. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've said this. It's been a while since we've been back. I'm excited to be back. I'm finding us on Facebook real quick so I can follow along with the comments. Really excited to join you guys today for Tea with Taylor. It has been a few months. Life has been lifing, as I like to say. Found us. As you know, all the live perks and things that we have not figured out still here at season 8. Oh my god! I can't believe it. Season 8, y'all. I can't believe I made it to season 8. This started as like just a little side passion project that I wanted to do to reach out to the community and kind of, set a legacy and set things in motion for, the younger LGBTQ people or people who will watch this in the future. Hopefully, something for everyone who watches it currently as well. But there's just been so much going on. I think I took time off of doing the show during right before Pride and all that stuff started happening, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, who would have thunk? Season 8, Jackie, I see you. Thank you for watching. And who would have thunk? I also just recently got nominated for an Options Award. So that's really cool. Tea with Taylor being nominated for Best Local Podcast. We're going to scratch out that local at some point soon, and we're going to do Best Podcast, getting nominations around the board. That was something that I wanted with this, is to kind of reach, a level of notification with this platform that I can spread out and bring Tea with Taylor to other platforms and to other states and, all of the things that we learn here to all the other people in the internet. At some point, I'm going to have to get this visual game on as good as I am with the audio, but we'll figure that out when we figure it out, because I am not good with technology, as most of you who know me know. But I'm just really overjoyed and thrilled to be here, to be able to continue to do this, to have a platform at all is a blessing. Cheers to us. Happy Friday. Oh my gosh, happy Friday. And it's been a lot going on with me as well. And speaking of blessings, I have been elevated in my ministry in Powerhouse. Shout out to y'all, whoever's watching for Powerhouse, love y'all. Powerhouse Ministries, I am now an ordained minister with Powerhouse Ministries. And I'm really excited about that particular yes in my life, about saying yes to my spiritual leaders, about, being elevated in that respect. And I feel through that journey and through so many other things in life, I've been able to grow into an even better person, even stronger person than I was before. And I thank God for that on a daily. And so it really has helped me hone in on being a better spiritual person, or being more in tune with my spiritual being, because as I say, or as I like to say more recently, we are spiritual beings on an earthly realm. But moving forward from even that just a little bit, today we're just playing catch up. If you guys want to join in on the video, let me know. I'll gladly have a few people join in with me and say hello, say a few things here and there. It is a one-man show, so bear with me. I would have to, get out of my throne to accept your video invite. But I'd love to hear from you guys, as always. This episode's a little bit different. I like to normally, for people who are just tuning in for the first time, I normally would go with hot topics and current events for the first 30 minutes of the show. And then after that, me and my guest or myself will discuss a very specific topic and kind of get into that and dig into the details with that. Today, I just wanted to, again, it's been so long since I've done it, Tea with Taylor. I wanted to just catch up with all of you, see how you guys are doing tonight. Maybe run down a few things, if you guys want to promote anything or talk about something in particular, feel free to call in or request that video, request to join the video with me, and I would gladly have you on for a few minutes. to chat. But yeah, today we're just going to have some hot topics and current events. We're just going to talk. We're just going to chat. We're going to gab just a little bit. So again, feel free to let me know in the comments how you're feeling, if you want to talk about anything in particular. I also have been so crazy blessed with my performing lately. I've been able to start my once a month show. If you guys haven't been there, please come visit me at Kimmy's. For King's Gambit is my drag show and game night event once a month at Kimmy's on the west side of Providence. It's just been such a blessing. It's been amazing to be able to work with so many great performers, to have a show with my name on it, just, stamp of approval even further for all the things that I do creatively. It's just been really great. I'm looking forward to even greater. I'm elated. I'm elated, and I can't even fathom or begin to express the multitude of happiness that I feel from this clarity and from feeling my purpose with all of the things that I have, set out to do. It feels really great to be not only acknowledged, but to know that something you're doing is worth acknowledgement. And a lot of times I think what happens with people who hold themselves the way I do, or with people who are deemed a certain type of a person, I think a lot of times people forget that, we do still need those kinds of validation, and we still do need that gratification of someone telling us you're doing a good job, or I love what you're doing, or keep doing what you're doing, even if you aren't the biggest fan of someone. And I've learned this even myself a couple of times personally. Sometimes it just helps just to push them forward a little in grace and with love in your heart. And for me, that is what keeps me going. One of the many things that keeps me going. Because I know a lot of times people wonder, how in the hell does Taylor do so many things? It's just, it's the passion for all of the things that I love to do, all of the things that I am doing, and all of the future things that I will be doing. So keep an eye out for that. You can follow me on social media. That's the best place, the best way to do that. All of my social media platforms, you can find me through my name, Taylor Neptune. But I also just started a new page for King's Gambit because as an event planner now, oh yes, I quit my job. oh yes, that's happening here. So I quit my 9-to-5 as well, and I'm taking on full-time event planning and performing with Neptune Incorporated as my brand. So I'm doing that right now, and it is a little bit frightening, but I'm really enjoying doing it, spearheading a few different things. This Sunday I have my fundraiser, back to school fundraiser at Mirabar in Providence. So just spearheading things like that and being able to actually put my heart and time and energy and effort into all these things and making them as good as I can, making them the best they can be, with my name attached to it, of course, has been such a blessing too. Again, it's really scary, and for all you entrepreneurs out there, I know you feel the same, and I know you've been in this boat before where you're transitioning, or you feel the fire. But I feel like I've been preparing for this for so long that I'm actually so ready, and I'm hitting the ground running. So I just need you guys in the community and everyone watching and everyone who's around, and whoever wants to be entertained in the future, just stick with me, and I guarantee you'll have a great time. Support means everything in any way you can, even just showing up every once in a while. If you can't, that's great too. Like I said, just telling someone, I appreciate you, I love what you do, keep doing what you're doing. Even that's enough to support someone in their art. And with Tiwa Taylor, even with Tiwa Taylor now, since I'm able to bring this back, I want to make it very clear that tips are greatly, 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 greatly appreciated. As with most things, we don't do these things to get paid, or we don't do these things for money, but it does help. It would help me in so many different respects, with lighting and being able to travel with the show is something we're going to do season 8 as well. being able to fund events and things like that. Being able to get, a live venue. That's something I want to do for closing out season 8 as well. In the future, paying for, assisting me with paying a producer to help me with all the things technical, because your boy is terrible with that. But just things along those lines. And I would greatly appreciate that. I am going to leave in the comments my Venmo and Cash App name. $1, $2, $5, $10 if you're feeling, real gracious. If I'm talking about something real spicy and you really enjoyed yourself. We also like to play games here on Tea with Taylor. That's how I got started with my game night events, actually. Because I really enjoy playing like fun games with friends, and I was like, you know what? I usually do a once a month game night at home. Why not do a game night at a bar or at a club where people can enjoy it? And lo and behold, King's Gambit became King's Gambit. But I am going to post in the comment section my Venmo and Cash App. If you feel ever so inclined, feel free to donate anytime. If you're rewatching this after the live, or if you're, watching this at a later date, feel free. There you go. Oh, thank you guys for watching. Oh, someone said something. No, okay. Someone I thought said something. We're following behind with the comments closely, as you can see. But no, I also and again, just really excited to be able to bring these things to you, and to be able to create these safe spaces for performers, for queer folks, for bringing together the community as far as straight folks and people who don't identify with any kind of queerness, bringing them together and tying that together as well, because that is part of our community. A lot of times I think we are jaded by the fact that we weren't accepted right away by those types of communities, or we shy away from working with those types of people because we want to create a queer space. But I think it's important to also incorporate that group of people, because there's so much more that they can offer when they are our allies than if we are not. And I think it's time. It's time that we bridge those gaps between those groups of people. And if it starts with us, then it starts with us. You know what I'm saying? We got to start somewhere. And not only get venues to have queer nights, but to create a queer space of comfortability for people, for Black and brown people as well, because being Black and brown and queer has always been a standpoint from my point of view here on Tea with Taylor, and that's really super important as well, to make sure those people feel safe wherever we go, so that we can all have a good time. And like I say here on Tea with Taylor, something that you're probably going to hear a lot, be good to yourself. It starts with you. It starts at home, and it starts within you. So be good to yourselves. Getting into our hot topics a little bit. Oh, hold on. Okay. Perks of being live. Lovely. Okay, getting into our hot topics. Let's get into it, y'all. Again, if you're just tuning in, feel free to join in the comment section, or if you want to join in the video, feel free to send that live request to join in, and I'll gladly let you into chat for a little while. We can get a little conversation going for a few minutes. But we're going to get into our hot topics. And let me just say, it's been so long that I was not even sure where to start with hot topics or where to start with current events. So some of these might be a pretty ancient to a few of us, but we're gonna keep it going. I'm going to keep going with the hot topics. And if you want me to stop, if you want to talk a little more about something, if you have something to put in, because I love hearing details from others, or I love to be proved wrong. The Capricornial girl in me loves to be proved wrong, because I like to think I have my ducks in order for most things. But it is fun when a friend can, respectfully prove me wrong. But all right. So the first thing I wanted to kind of, talk about with you guys, because I'm a little bit of a nerd, and, some of you may know that, some of you may not. But I'm a little bit nerd when it comes to space and science and stars and all that stuff. And I like to call myself a little bit of a scholar. I love knowledge. I love to know things. So that it's great to kind of dive deep into those types of things. For me, especially when I'm watching or when I don't have something to watch on TV with my spare time or anything like that. Oh yeah, deep dive into anything space, any kind of conspiracy theory, any kind of planetary drama. But on Thursday, yesterday, early morning, 2:35, I believe it was to be exact, 2:35 in the morning, there was a blue supermoon. I don't know if you guys were up at that time on Thursday. We had a fine, good old drag show here at Eagle Providence on Thursday night. So I don't know if anyone was awake after the show and outside to see that, but it was a sight to see. I talked to a few different people who had seen it, who had actually planned on being up, or what was awake to see that. And so many different people had so many different experiences with that. We're not going to get into the spiritual sense of moon bathing and all the things of that nature. Oh my God, Lana! Hey, we are back, baby. Oh yes, back like we never left. I'd love to see you, Lana. That's a Lana. Nobody else. Y'all can't have that. Anyways, but I loved hearing the different experiences that so many different people had. My friends from New York, actually, a few of them told me that they saw the moon and it was very, very bright and not as blue as some others had said. I talked to a friend in Chicago who told me they did see it very much blue. And I talked to another friend in Virginia who said they seen very much blue too, but it seemed like it was a little bit smaller than they would have thought the moon would have been at its full status like that. So, just hearing, and then I had another friend in Chicago, a second friend, who said that they bathed in that moonlight and felt, very spiritually connected to that time. If you ask me, I think around 2 in the morning or I want to say 3 in the morning, those are one of the most spiritual times to be reconnected or to even pray or meditate and anything of that nature. I think that time of morning or that time of day is always a very strong spiritual hour. But to catch that blue moon, I mean, again, it's the saying, once in a blue moon. To catch that must have been an experience for so many different people. I'd love to hear from you guys about your experience with that, if you were awake or if you even knew that was happening, actually. The big deal about this blue moon, this blue supermoon, is that this will be the last one, I believe they said, for 200 years. So that once in a blue moon is coming around less and less. I'm going to check my sources right now, but it's appearing like we're not going to have another blue moon or blue supermoon for a very long time. With science and astrology, you have to be very word heavy. You have to be very, very specific about these things because we could have a blue moon, but it won't be a blue supermoon. Yes, I believe so. Okay, I think this was the last one for 200 years. So if you missed it, you missed it. If you saw it, you saw it. But I want to hear about your experience. Moving forward just a little bit with something else. Another one that I found, and I don't usually follow a lot of celebrities, but another thing I found that was really awesome and another win for us was Wayne Brady came out as pansexual. If you don't know Wayne Brady, he's been a host of a bunch of different game shows and daytime television actor. Wayne Brady, I felt that we already knew this. I think most of us, at least assumed that there was a little bit of something there with Wayne Brady that was not obviously confirmed for the public to know. Which, I don't know, how do you guys feel about that? Do you think that all celebrities or people with a platform should have to come out and tell us their sexual orientation? Or do you think it's important to their careers? Or do you think it's necessary to their careers to actually come out? Because even with like celebrities like Lil Nas X waited a while before he came out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he waited a while before he came out, and then all of a sudden his music started getting gayer and gayer, which I'm here for it. I love that. But I find it interesting. I wonder, if that was his choice or if that was the record label's choice or if it was planned out that way or, again, even if it's even important because with Wayne Brady, for instance, I assumed most people knew that there was a little queerness there. And we loved Wayne Brady nevertheless. We watched Wayne Brady nevertheless. We enjoyed Wayne Brady nevertheless. And whether or not he came out, I don't know that it was necessary, especially for him who has a thriving career. But I appreciate that, and I love that he's identifying as pansexual because I also identify as pansexual, and I feel that a lot of times it's not represented, which, I could be wrong in that train of thinking, but, I'm glad that he felt comfortable enough or brave enough to come out and tell us all that. And it just shows that he is on our side, even the more so, with all of these political issues that have been happening and the attacks on the LGBTQI community. Sheesh, we need all the allies and help we can get from everyone, but it's really nice that he felt comfortable enough in his career and in himself to share that with us. So I thought that was a big deal because Wayne Brady's a little bit, he's part of my childhood. No big deal. We're not doing math. We're not adding up numbers. Don't even think about it. But I wonder, again, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Do you think it's important to come out when you have a platform or when you're a celebrity of some sort? Do you think it's important or do you think it's necessary for their career? You guys let me know. Speaking of important and necessary to their career, Lizzo, child. Oh Lord. Whew. Yeah, this one's been a hot ticket for a grip now. Lizzo, we all know Lizzo. If you don't know Lizzo, go Google it. I'm not even gonna go explain who Lizzo is, but Lizzo has been going through some legal issues as of late, and this is something I personally would have never saw coming. That I would have never thought would be an issue for Lizzo. That I never thought would ever rear its head in Lizzo's direction. But Timothy Blair is sounding off in the comments. Timothy, thank you for watching. Timothy says, in general, it's important to come out and be your true self for yourself. Facts. I really do believe that. Like, I'm glad that he felt comfortable within himself within himself and his career to share that information with us. Because I personally don't think it's necessary. Again, I assumed, and I'm sure other people assumed, that he was somewhat queer to begin with. Whether that affected his career, that's a different story. I don't think it did. Maybe for some other people in different careers, it might. But again, I didn't think that was imperative for Wayne Brady. Hey Chris, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. I love it. Love to see it. Thanks for watching as well. But yeah, Lizzo with these allegations. If you don't know, there's been allegations against Lizzo from a former dancer about sexual assaults and how that may be happening behind the scenes. I believe it was on a tour. Again, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was on one of her tours that this dancer said that these sexual harassment actions had been taking place. There's a lawsuit, I believe, in place right now. Chris, how you been? Chris Sales says, how you been? Did not know you did lives. Yes, only for Tima Taylor. I'm not usually the kind of person that's online just to be online. But for Tima Taylor, yes, obviously. Every Friday, 7 o'clock now, actually. Last season was 6. So you'll get to join in on the conversation and see my face every Friday if you'd like. Ding. But Lizzo actually came forth and denied these allegations straight out, saying that they were untrue. And and excuse me, real quick, let me put my opinion here. I think, I don't know. I don't see Lizzo being a sexual deviant. And don't get me wrong, homegirl, anyone can be a sexual deviant and not look the part, or so to speak. But But I think, I don't know, I am leaning more towards Lizzo is innocent in these charges. A lot of times it's a fine line between, protecting a victim or not believing a victim and your point of view on a person who is in that situation. And it varies a lot of times, I've noticed, with the person, depending on who the person is. For instance, Michael Jackson and, let's see, who else? And R. Kelly, which is a whole other one. Oh, God, we're going to talk about those two yet. We love Michael Jackson. People still play Michael Jackson's music. People, tend to forget about the allegations against him when he was alive. But someone more like R. Kelly, who is a little bit more in the public eye, obviously living, and there was a lot more proof in that case against him. People like that, we instantly like, no, never again am I listening to R. Kelly, never again. Those allegations were insane. I can't believe he did all those things. But we forget there was at least 2 or 3 cases against Michael Jackson in that respect too. But we'll still listen to Michael Jackson. We still celebrate Michael Jackson's career. We still honor his death. So it varies very much with the person. And again, depending on what the case looks like. Oh my God, Calypso and Jaden. Thanks for watching. Auntie Bibi. My Auntie Bibi is watching, everyone. Auntie Bibi is from Virginia. Auntie, how did you stay up on Thursday? Were you up on Thursday at 2:30 in the morning? Did you see the blue moon? I'm curious. Thank you guys for watching, though. I love when my family joins in. It's so cute. I love the support. It just warmed my heart, honestly. But with Lizzo, again, this case is still shaping up. I personally don't know that she is guilty of these things. I don't think she is. She has come out and said personally that she is not. Jaden said, I was just about to say, boo, are smelly. See, exactly. It very much depends on the person, their character, and how much the case shapes out to look like. A lot of times celebrities get caught up in these things too for monetary reasons. Somebody's trying to get a check out of them. And it's sad to say, it's so sad. Again, I'm teeter-tottering the line of, obviously I don't want to protect a victim. I mean, I don't want to not believe a victim. But I also, I don't think that Lizzo, especially at this point in her career and in her life, would have gotten away with it for this long if she were. And I'm not saying she wasn't, again. And I don't see that. I just don't see that for her. This case is it's very loose. I don't see any kind of evidence. There's only this one dancer, as far as I know. Correct me again if I'm wrong. But yeah, Jaden Viara says, and of course my heart is broken about Lizzo and the allegations. Yes! Like, what's happening? Like, I didn't see that coming at all. I would have never thought. And this is the one who got her ass out at a basketball game or who's twerking with a flute. I'm not saying that she's not possible, that these things don't happen. I just don't see it. And I'm waiting to see more about this case. If you guys know anything more about it, feel free to send me a link in the comments or to let me know, because as far as I know, it's just the one dancer who came out and said something about these sexual allegations. Chris Sales says, I can't see her doing anything like this. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Okay. We'll see. It's panning out. Jaden, apparently there's 3 dancers who have come forward. Okay. Thank you, Jaden. That's good to know. And for the sake of the show, I felt that it was time to bring back Tiwa Taylor for this season because I've been starting my day off watching CBS again and NBC, as I always do when I'm in season for Tiwa Taylor, because I want to stay up to date throughout the week with my current events and hot topics. I knew that it was time to come back when I starting that routine again. It's so funny. To play devil's advocate, Chris Sales says in the comments, you never know what happens behind the curtain, closed doors. Exactly. That's why I can't, with authority fully say, oh, Lizzo's innocent. I believe that she is not capable of these things. If there are, again, like Jaden said, 3 people coming forward saying things, then, this case may actually shape out to prove otherwise. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm still voting head on for Lizzo. Even Beyonce said it on her Renaissance tour. Said shout out to Lizzo, and she's standing with her in this respect. Graham said, Graham, I love you. Graham's going to be on Tea with Taylor this season as well. You'll probably see Graham next weekend, sitting right here or on the couch, wherever Graham decides to sit. And we're going to be talking. You'll see. But Graham says, all I know is that after I think dance captain or manager was accused of pushing her religion on dancers, she was posted a video praising Jesus, which was not the right move to make. Agree, Graham. Like, yeah, I saw that part, and I was like, oh, you're proving them right. Stop it. Yeah, I don't know, guys. We'll see where this goes and where this is headed. I am in Lizzo's corner as much as I can be. But I also hope that, justice is seen, because to play devil's advocate, like someone said earlier in the comments, there are those moments where celebrities get away with things by just, again, the almighty dollar. So we'll see how this goes. Moving on just a little bit, because we got so much to cover. There's some really good things that I also saw in this time away, and some really interesting things. I'm not going to say bad, but some hard-hitting things that I've seen in the past. Jaden. She also questioned one of the dancers' virginity. Oh my gosh! What the world? I had not seen that, Jaden. Oh my god. But moving forward just a little bit, this one tripped me out a little bit. Bob Barker. Okay. Bob Barker. We may be entering the Twilight Zone. Because you're welcome for that. Because I just don't understand. I saw recently, I want to say within the last 2 weeks, Bob Barker dead at 99, and I'm confusion, because maybe this is the what's it called, the butterfly effect, I think it's called, or something along those lines. You guys help me out. You'll know what I'm talking about in a minute in the comments. Let me know if I got that right. But I feel like Bob Barker has died already. Am I wrong? I don't know. So I don't know. I thought Bob Barker died already. When Jim Carrey took over The Price is Right, at where Bob Barker was the host, I thought that happened years ago, where he took over for Bob Barker because Bob Barker died. I don't know, my Mandela effect. Yes, thank you, Graham. Mandela effect. I don't know. No, Alex Trebek. I don't think I'm confusing him for Alex Trebek. Alex Trebek passed away recently as well, but Alex Trebek was on a different show. Am I correct in that? Because I could have sworn Bob Barker was The Price is Right, and come on down. I make that joke pretty often when I'm here with a guest. Come on down, Bob Barker style. But I thought he died already. And he was like 80 or something along those lines when Jim Carrey took over Price is Right. Now I'm seeing Bob Barker dead at 99, and I'm very confused. I don't know. I think it is the Mandela effect, Graham. Honestly. Drew Carey. Yes, Drew Carey. Oh my god, have I been saying Jim Carrey this whole time? That's great. That's golden, y'all. I meant when Drew Carey took over for Bob Barker on The Price is Right. Chris. Okay, Chris said he retired, not died. AJ and I both thought he died, said Jaden. But then maybe I mistook him for Alex Trebek when he died in 2020. Honestly, I don't know. At this point, I'm convinced that we are in a different timeline altogether. But again, we're circling back to how I like to spend my spare time, be that it may if I have it, with a lot of conspiracy theories and things about space and etc. Where now I'm convinced we're in a different timeline altogether, because I could have sworn Bob Barker was dead. But again, I don't know. You guys, let me know. I could maybe go back in some media, search through some media to see if there's an article on him passing away, or maybe he just retired, and I assumed he had passed away. I don't know. I don't know. All the greats leave us. Unfortunately, Chris says in the comments, this is very true. I know we have lost a lot of them. After Betty White, I lost track, and I was like, no, this is not cute anymore. But good for them. They're in their final resting place. But moving forward a little bit further, some news that I really wanted to get out to everyone. Some really important things that I wanted to get out to the community while I have you here in this space. Graham Stokes says, it's just because of all the time travel, nothing to worry about here. No big deal. Nothing to worry about here. Nope, just the casual time travel. That's another one. That's a huge theory, conspiracy theory, that I am so willing to go down the rabbit hole with you. But not right now. So a few more things, again, that I really wanted to get out to the community. And these are some really important things to take note of. I'm going to kind of speed through it just a little bit. I will gladly elaborate if you guys want in the comments. You just let me know what piques your interest or which one your ear kind of stands up for. But these are some really important things that I really want to make sure everyone is aware of. Right now, there is a rising case of eye drop infections. The FDA is warning of bacteria and some other something else that is in the eye drop solutions of most brands that Graham, yes, please take us all with you to time travel. There's a few brands that are being recalled. The FDA is warning that it is a rising case of infections due to eye drops. I will also share all of my hot topics on the T. Wood Taylor Instagram after the show, as well as sharing the live video on the T. Wood Taylor website and on YouTube. So you can catch this later. You can refer back to this later. I'm going to share a lot of links on the T. Wood Taylor Instagram, though. So make sure you catch those, and you can read the articles that I read to bring you these topics. So there's that. So careful with the eye drops that you're purchasing. If you're a smoker like me, you know I used to always get those drops to have constantly. But now it's just whatever. If my eyes are red, they're red. Just deal with it. But there's also the CDC is tracking a new mutated variant, COVID variant. Yep. I said it. We all thought that it might have been dissipating, and we might have been right at one point in time. But we are looking at another wave of COVID, a mutated variant of COVID-19 spreading at a very high rate. The CDC is tracking it in 3 countries right now, including the U.S., so gird your loins, prepare yourselves. Like I said in my Instagram story once or twice or a few times now, because I'm very consistently annoying with the certain things that I feel very strongly about, is to make sure you're boosting your immune system in any kind of way. Make sure you are eating as healthily as possible so that you are not as susceptible to these ailments. Because there is so many different things happening right now. Jaden, I just show up stoned so people think I always look that way. Facts. That's literally what I do for a job interview. I smoke just a little bit, just enough to look a little stony pony, and I'll show up that way so that everyone's just like, oh, he always looks like that. No big deal. Or I'm like, oh, I'm just tired. It's been a long day. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's legal here in Rhode Island and New England, so that's one excuse. But even when I lived in New York, I would just wander the streets and smoke, so it's fine. Showing up for auditions and casting calls, just hi. It's great. That's why I'm so whimsical most of the time. But yes, we're tracking this new variant of COVID in 3 countries. Including the U.S. It's Denmark and Israel, the other 3 countries, if I'm not mistaken. If you guys want to look this up for your own purposes, it is right now being called the COVID variant BA 2.86. Whatever those numbers mean, don't know. Maybe the lab it was released from, or maybe I don't know. COVID variant BA 2.86. And the fact that they haven't given it a fancy name makes me think this one might be actually a little bit serious. But, we'll see how this goes as well. I've heard talks of possibly another shutdown in the future. As long as Grandpa Biden's giving us some dollars, I will gladly sit at home with you all and chat and talk and smoke as Chris and Graham are talking about now in this comments. Chris Sales says, I smoke with my boss. Oh, I love. I used to smoke with my boss too, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I can only handle smoking once a day now. Or maybe, like, if I'm going out, like, on the town for a drink or two, I'll bring some smoke with me. But I can't handle smoking too much now socially. I have to go home. I'll have to go home and sit in silence and just think and ponder on life and things of that nature. I'm not that big of a social smoker anymore. I used to be so much. Now, not so much. Austin, thanks for watching. Says, I don't believe numbers have gone up locally, but they have started getting to get high in places. They are talking about masks again. Yes, that is what I saw. They are talking about masking up again, the possibility of it, and perhaps another shutdown. It is not getting to that point just yet, especially in the U.S., but in Denmark and in Israel, I believe, the numbers are getting very high. This is true, Graham. People are just relearning how to have human contact and how to interact with other humans at this point because we were locked down for so long. But yeah, it is a possibility. So again, here we are. We're getting ready. This is why I'm bringing it to you here on Tea with Taylor, guys. Another really important thing that I want to make sure to get out to you guys is there has been another salmonella outbreak, actually. I know I'm hitting you over the head with these things. But, you know, it's all just in the idea of preparation, being proactive. Because a lot of times what happens with the more important things get washed out in the media by all the other unimportant things, or by celebrity news, or by a cute puppy or a fun recipe. And a lot of times we're not in the know intentionally. And I will say that in the media, a lot of times they intentionally will divert your attention to other things, i.e. Trump and all the other things that appeal to your interests that are salacious. And we do that here on Tea with Taylor too sometimes. You know, I'll bring out the little tasty bits of topics just to get your attention. But I also want to always make sure to give you guys all the information that I'm receiving so that we're all on the same page. And again, a lot of times these things get washed out in the mainstream media, and it's important, it's up to us to be diligent about these things, or else we will never know. But there's another salmonella outbreak. Graham said, Chris says, hope that does not happen. It would suck and teachers go back to online class. Those online classes were not affected. I seen stats about that. And I love a good stat. I love to read statistics and see how they compare to my ideas in life. Those online classes and teaching online was not effective as effective, actually. But that would be interesting. Have you heard about the hand, foot, and mouth going around? No, Chris. You'll have to send me a link to that or let me know in the comments. I have not heard about that. Goodness gracious. Graham says, is this Tea with Taylor or RIDH update? Both. Both. Oh, God. Ron DeSantos. Oh, no. Basically, just stay away from Florida indefinitely, Austin says, because most of the bad things seem to be there. They did not ban, but they did warn against BIPOC folks traveling to Florida at this time in life anyway, actually, about, you know, Florida not being so welcoming to people of that nature. So I would stay away from Florida in general. I didn't even take my yearly Florida vacation to Key West this year, and that's something I do every year. I also haven't been to the beach yet this year at all, so there's that. But you guys are killing it right now. I can't. But the salmonella outbreak, actually, you'll never guess where they're saying it's starting. The CDC is saying, and I hate to say it, but it's saying it's linked to the turtles, my little turtles. So it's the small ones. I forget the breed of turtle, but it's the smaller ones, not the big ones that we're killing with our plastic in the ocean. The smaller ones. People, you know, making contact with them, kissing them, they said a lot of people do, or touching them and then touching your face or things like that is the way the salmonella outbreak is happening. 26 people, at least in 11 different states, have been linked to the salmonella outbreak from turtles. So, yeah, just be careful with that. Salmonella, last time we had this outbreak was linked to lettuce, I believe it was, or something like that. And I remember a lot of restaurants and things of that nature getting rid of lettuce altogether, and for a very long time, there was like you couldn't get lettuce anywhere, and that was really interesting. So I wonder how this is going to turn out with the turtles. Leave the little turtles alone. That's all I'm going to say. No, Graham, I haven't been to the beach at all this season. At all. I planned on it, and I really love being in the sun, but I've just been preparing for so many different things. I'm also getting ready to compete for Mr. Gay, Mr. Gay USA. So there's been that, preparing for so many different gigs, performing, and things of that nature. I just haven't been able to get to the beach. I really want to, and I'm a Capricorn, which is an earth and water sign. So that's one of the places I feel very, very, very comfortable, where I can recharge, and I just haven't been. Jackie, if you're still watching, we still have a standing beach date if it gets warm enough. I mean, it's Labor Day weekend. Happy Labor Day, y'all. I'm just saying, let's get it together. Let's get it together. Austin says Florida has been an outbreak of dengue fever, also known as bone break fever, along with leprosy and a meningitis outbreak. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna go anywhere but Florida. I am so good. Bunch of gays doing Horse Lake Beach on Sunday. Oh, before my event. Okay, awesome. All right, that's good to know. Well, I'm glad I'll see you at my event. I'm doing my fundraiser event for you guys who are just joining in or who hadn't seen that earlier in the broadcast at Mirabar this Sunday, 9 o'clock, drag show at 10. Feel free to come by support. If you want to drop off school supplies or you want to donate some money, all donations are going to high school students in need. Or if you have some clothing that you want to get rid of that is, lightly used, that we can donate to the high school as well, let me know. I'll be more than glad to do that. And so, yeah, feel free. If you want to just come by and be entertained, also, just come by and be entertained. I got Lulu Levity, Darren to Shine, Russell Sprouts, Shania Twain, who is hilarious. I live for her. We love Shania Twain. So feel free. Graham, that was an invite. Okay. Listen, text me after the show and I will gladly get the details from you because a boy needs to, get in the sun a little bit, keep this melanin real nice and brown. But moving forward, there's also just if you get any clothes for infants to 5 years, we can use it at my daycare. Chris, thank you for letting me know that. Leave a link for your daycare in the website or on my page if you like, and I'll gladly share that as well. Because I do love to do at least one charitable event every season, and just to give back and to show how grateful I am for the platform that I've been given. So if anyone wants to donate, just let me know. Or if you have a charitable organization or a business that you'd like to promote or anything along those lines, especially if it's geared towards our queer family or my Black and brown family, I'm so down to share and always so down to help in any way I can. Moving forward just a little bit because we've almost reached the end of our broadcast. I can't even believe it's almost been an hour already. Wow, I miss this. I miss this interactions, guys. I miss doing this with you all. It's called Dr. Daycare. Okay. Thank you, Chris. But moving forward just a little bit, I want to leave you with some of the more fun and interesting things. Also, sending out prayers to Maui before we move on to the fun and interesting topics. Sending out prayers to Maui. That was the Maui wildfires that was devastating to their economy and to their land. We're sending love out to them. And prayers for the families that were involved. I don't remember the death toll, but I do know it was a very huge, largely devastating event. If you guys want to share that information as well in the topic in the comments, feel free. But that sending our prayers out to Maui as well after the Maui wildfires. Yes, wow. So, some of the fun things are really good wins this week, other than Trump being arrested. That was hilarious. But whatever, no big deal. Speaking of that, there was the merch that people started selling after he got arrested. Hilarious. I undefeated. I can't even. I just can't even. People are undefeated with with the quickness. As soon as that mugshot came out, there was merchandise available. Like, it was insane. But moving forward, Brazil's Supreme Court ruled within the last week that homophobic hate speeches will be punishable by prison time. Woo-hoo. Yeah, that's a win. That's a major win to be recognized. It's being recognized and along the same lines as a hate crime or a hate speech as far as race is determined. So it's on the same level now legally. So it will be punishable by prison time in Brazil if you are, found to have given a homophobic hate speech. It's another win in our direction. With all the anti-LGBTQ legislation and attacks that have been happening, I will make sure to mention these always because we win when we're together, and the small wins will, join together, and somehow we will win the fight. It's inevitable with our tenacity as queer folks. It's inevitable. But another really fun one that I love, and I love this artist. I love both of these artists, but I love one a little bit more than the other. A$AP and Rihanna, A$AP Rocky and Rihanna welcomed their second child together. As you might have saw, she was pregnant at her Super Bowl performance that we might have all seen with the red and the white, and it was pretty interesting. And there was a lot of different takes on that performance as well too. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was perfect for a pregnant woman to get up there and do those things of that nature, and in that way, I was like, okay, we need all the wins we can get, and one day take over. Yes, Chris, agreed. Getting back to it, A$AP and Rocky welcomed their second child. I believe this was his second, a boy as well. So Rihanna is literally building a Rihanna Navy. Not just us. She's building a Rihanna Navy, literally, like by blood. So we're gonna live to see it. Her first child is so cute. He got her forehead though, child. Ooh, he definitely got Rihanna's forehead. But we're gonna not talk about that right now. It's such a cute little bit. And congrats to them. Another thing that I wanted to mention that was a really huge one. Those are going to be some talented kids, Chris. You got that right. Hello. You see what Blue Ivy's doing up in here. I was like, what? Already. She didn't even need her mama's name. Honestly, she didn't. She's already out here killing it. But Barbie, the movie that has taken everyone by storm this year. The Barbie fantasy has always taken, at least in the queer community, has always taken us by storm. I think we've all been fascinated by the Barbie fantasy for a very long time. And I'm a Nicki Minaj fan. In case you didn't know, so we've all been living vicariously through Nicki with the Barbie fantasy for years now. But we have finally gotten to the point where we were gifted with a Barbie movie. If you ask me, I can't get past Margot Robbie being oh God, what's her name? Harley Quinn. Every time I see her, I just think of Harley Quinn. I watched this new movie on Amazon called Babylon as well with Harley Quinn. No, with Margot Robbie, and I just keep seeing Harley Quinn. Like, she did that role so well. I just can't. That's all I see. But this Barbie movie has taken the world by storm. Chris, unpopular opinion. Hold on. Don't hate me, but I did not like that movie. I honestly, and my aunt, Auntie Bibi, says Auntie Bibi as I call her. Y'all not calling my Auntie Bibi. That's Audrey to y'all, okay? I don't want to hear nothing. Auntie Bibi. No. That's mine. I didn't see it either, Auntie. I saw bits and pieces of it, and I've heard from literally every one of my friends about what parts they liked and how they enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it. And I've actually heard one or two people who didn't enjoy it, and I think I might be one of those people. I can't say that with validation right now because I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips and I know what it's about, and I've heard from friends, and sometimes that's good enough. But it has taken the world by storm. With Barbie trends, with Barbie memes on the internet, with different with the Barbie photo. template that everyone's been doing. The movie in itself, yes, you know I will, Auntie. You know I will. But the movie itself has been one of the highest grossing films in a very long time. One, it took the world by storm, and I am not claiming to be one of those people, but so many different things have erupted from that. So many different points of views, even with people debating on whether the true intention of the movie was to, to dishearten men or things along those lines. And I want to hear from you guys also what you think about the point of the movie or Auntie. Okay, both my aunties watching at the same time. My aunt Chanel and Auntie with Taylor. If y'all kept up, you know I'm always talking about Auntie Chanel. She is always watching, always supporting, and I live for it. Thank you, Auntie. I hope you guys are having a good night. I got my Auntie Chanel. I got my Auntie BB. It's like a family. You get over here real quick. I know a few people again who didn't like it, and I know way more people who did. And I think with the queer community, we kind of relate to more so of the kind of material girl aspect of it all. And that's the Chanel 9 boots that it takes to keep the girls. But the movie itself was one of the highest grossing films this year thus far. And it was directed by a woman named Greta Gerwig, who now is being put in a Hall of Fame type of situation where the movie has been the highest grossing film directed by a woman. So kudos to Greta Gerwig for that accomplishment. We cannot take that away from her. The film itself has been, again, one of the highest grossing films and directed by a woman. So with that alone, we are actually seeing some progress within the Hollywood and landscape. And so it does actually push that further in that direction where we love to see all of the different things, and we love to see women directors, and we love to see women in power. So I applaud Barbie for that, and I applaud Barbie for showing that women it's not always necessary to be with a male as a female. Like one of the sermons that I was watching recently, he said, Eve came into the world whole. Adam was the one who had a rib removed to create Eve. But Eve came into the world whole. She wasn't coming into the world broken or missing a man or missing someone else to make her whole. She came into the world whole. Adam was the one who had the broken rib. So, men, let's get our shit together. That's what I'm saying, basically. But we're talking about Barbie, Auntie. Chris says, I will say it was a very woman empowering, showing young girls they can do whatever they want to do. Exactly. Yep. And that is the part of it that I applaud. I'm so grateful for something like this to exist in my lifetime. But I'm also curious to hear what you guys thought about it. I'm also curious to know if you feel that its intention was, if the intention of the movie was met, or if it did something otherwise for our community, or for, what it was. I applaud them for showing women in that light, and for the sheer fact that it has broken barriers as far as being the highest grossing film for a woman director. So that's where I'm at. I'm just taking it from the facts standpoint. I really enjoyed that it has broken those barriers. Other than that, again, I haven't fully seen the movie yet, so I can't really say much. But other than that, I think it was very interesting that it took over so quickly. So quickly. All the same girlies who were literally proclaiming to be Wednesday Addams. Because that also took the world by storm, yet again. Because we've seen the Addams Family be remade in so many different respects over the years. This one took the world by storm so quickly. So many people were cosplaying as Adams. What was Wednesday Addams? Were relating to the character. And then Barbie comes out, which is the polar opposite. And then we have all the people that were in black with pigtails, blonde, and in pink. The transition was painful to watch, but it's cute. I see what we did here in the community. I'll see y'all. And hard to follow, for sure. Okay, all right. I see some comments in this in about the movie. Okay, interesting, Chris. Thank you. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm gonna wait till it's on DVD, and I'll purchase it on my TV or somehow in that respect. But I'm not going to theaters to see it. That's for sure. At this point, I'm kind of already over it. But again, I'm curious to know what you guys thought about it and what you thought the intention behind the movie was, what the purpose was behind the movie. Because I want to dig into that a little bit more, just not now because we've reached the end of our broadcast. Oh my god. Okay, so we've been here for an hour, y'all. I can see this Halloween a lot of Wednesday Addams and Barbies. Yeah, Chris, you're right. There were a few other things I'm just going to list really quickly right before I let you guys go. Make sure you're getting geared up for back to school, preparing yourselves for all the things, and I hate to be a worrywart or to implant any kind of bad thoughts, but make sure you're getting your children ready for back to school and any concerns you may have with that. I know a lot of parents are concerned with the way things are going with public gatherings and things like that in the U.S. here. So make sure you're gearing up for another school year. And again, I'm having my back to school fundraiser this Sunday. So if you want to donate to high school students in the neighborhood, feel free to come through and do that. Or if you just want to come through and be entertained, also feel free to do that. I love seeing your faces. Auntie, did you see your uncle online? No, I haven't actually. Not yet. I can scroll back later and see who was on and who watched. Oh, actually, I do see Austin B. Lover was watching. Uncle, I missed you. Wow. Thank you for watching. Wow. Again, family reunion. But we have Brazil Supreme Court. We have back to school concerns. We have this case with Tory Lanez that's developing, and we'll talk about that next week with Graham, since we didn't get to talk about it here. But that's also another wild one that I don't follow very many celebrities, but that stuck out to me for many reasons that I will share with you next week, I promise. But Tory Lanez being in prison for 10 years with the whole shooting case. If you guys know, you know. If you don't, you don't. And Sha'Carri Richardson, also being awarded fastest woman for 4, I think, 100-meter runs, I believe it was, or something along those lines. Winning big for the U.S. after being denied the chance to compete in the Olympics last year for minor weed charges. Again, if weed was legal back then, we could have freed our people. But again, that's a story for later. Congratulations for now to Sha'Carri Richardson. That's another topic that we will have to bring back up next week. So be prepared to talk in detail with that one with me. Excuse me. Yeah, but I thought that was really great for Sha'Carri. I'm glad that she came back the following year to compete and won. So suck it, US. Yes, Graham, you definitely need to look that up. And I encourage all of my guests for this season to, if you feel ever so inclined, to bring a hot topic of your own that you want to discuss, that we can get into, and bring some details, some fun details, and I'll be glad to talk about that with you. I love when my guests bring a hot topic for me to share with them, because then I get an insight on what catches your eye and what you are paying attention to closely, and I love that. With that, sadly, I will leave you to enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Thank you for joining me for Tea with Taylor. Again, continue to vote so that I can, I get this Options Award. Tea with Taylor has been nominated, if you didn't hear earlier, for an Options Award with Best Local Podcast. The link is shared on the Tea with Taylor Instagram. It's right in my profile. So continue to vote every day if you can. If you got 6 emails, vote 6 times. Because Lord knows I have 3 and I'm voting every day until September 13th when the awards are happening here in Providence at Mirabar. Continue to vote for Tea with Taylor as the best podcast. Continue to share, like the videos, promote the broadcast. I love to see it, and I appreciate you all. Again, for the second time today, you're going to hear it all season. Make sure you are being good to yourself. I can't say it enough, and I won't stop saying it, so you might as well learn how to be good to yourselves. and appreciate yourselves. It all starts from the inside. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Again, share, like, comment, all of the above. Keep it going. Keep these conversations going. I'll be back next week to talk about the Hollywood strike. Oh yes, with Graham Stokes. You might have seen it in the comments, and it's going to be a very interesting conversation. I love having Graham on the show. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Peace.